The Catholic Church has sort of arrived late on the scene of biblical scholarship, you might say, in the modern period. There's many different programs, shows, documentaries about Jesus nowadays. They always come up around Christmas and Easter time. What's the role of the Catholic Church and its understanding of Scripture as we have it today in that conversation, to contribute to that conversation and add its 2 cents?
Yeah, I don't know whether they ever get a chance to have an official representative on the set. I also think, and this is not just Catholics, I think Christians in general, we get fixated on Good Friday. Death is something we understand so much better than we do rising. And yet, if indeed we are Christians, Good Friday is only one step on the way to Easter Sunday. And I think, again, so many of these dramas that we are talking about do a much more vivid job of depicting the sufferings of Jesus. But Easter pales beside it. And yet, Easter is the reason we are here as believers, isn't it? It's what he promised.
Yeah, good point. A couple more questions. Is there a unique contribution to biblical scholarship from the Catholic perspective? I mean, considering it's been, 500 years of predominantly Protestant influence in that world.
Oh, I think there has to be. We were Johnny-come-latelys, but when we began, we produced some incredible scholars. I mean, if you look at people like Dan Harrington, John Donahue, and all the work that he's done on parables, Frank Maloney, the Gospel of John. I've studied with these people. That's why they're top on my list.
What's unique about it? What's unique about their perspective?
Because what we have here is men of great faith and great scholarship entering a world that they've been absent from. I mean, the great scholars of the last century, up until we get to almost Vatican II, these were not Catholic scholars. You didn't look there for your answers to biblical issues. It was almost as that was forbidden territory. I think Divine Afflante Spiritu really was the opening. Pius XII opened the doors and said, it's all right, we can look at the Bible. I don't want to say with less reverence, but I think our very reverence for the Bible sometimes prevented our looking at the human aspect of it. We have work to do on translation, where now I think we are welcomed in scholarly circles. These are all areas that were denied to the church for a long time because we were not producing scholars. We were producing, in many cases, pious people, but there's a difference. And now we have produced, I think, some amazing scholars who are respected across the board. And that's a wonderful gift. And may it increase.
Yes. And finally, when you look to the future, where do you see biblical scholarship headed? Is there a particular direction or a few tracks that you can see moving forward now?
Well, I was pleasantly surprised. I was reading America Magazine this morning, the latest issue reviewing work on Bible studies, and increasing work being done on backgrounds of the Bible. I saw 2 books that dealt with the Second Temple period. And I think the more people can see that library, which is the Bible, as a library, each volume coming from a different historical background, the more we can clarify the background that lies behind that particular book of the Bible. I think the more real we make it, and when it's real, it's appealing, and people will claim it. I think it's a whole avenue we're just beginning to walk down.
Very good. Thank you, Sister, very much for your insights.
You're very welcome.